screen. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadesh हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांजन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. The blessings of all the Vaishnavas, I take permission, Prabhuji, especially from you, because you've been my teacher from a very long time. I've been learning from you also from almost 1999. And some of the notes which I have prepared is from one of your own lectures only that you had given in 2003. So I seek blessings from all the Vaishnavas that I'll be able to give some justice to this particular topic for my own purification. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. So my today's topic is hearing is the key. And we'll just see a quick overview. So I'll be primarily speaking on importance of the Srimad-Bhagavatam, overview of Srimad-Bhagavatam, importance of hearing, taste for hearing, benefits of hearing from the Srimad-Bhagavatam, qualifications of an ideal speaker, types of speakers. So qualifications of an ideal hearer. Then there are some types of hearers also. And who heard from whom. We are primarily focusing on. So if we see the whole of Srimad-Bhagavatam, the Bhagavatam in itself is Granth Avatar. And Bhagavatam is not different than Krishna only. When Krishna left from this earth planet, it says that Krishna so dhamogatpate dharma jnana bibi saha kalau nashta drisham esha purana ko dhunoti. So when the Srimad Bhagavatam went up, when Krishna left this earth planet, so in his Granth avatar, Krishna descended to this earth planet to actually dissipate the darkness of this ignorance in the hearts of the living entities. And if we see Srila Prabhupada's also mode and mission was the same thing. That because Kali Yuga came up, Srila Prabhupada, the first time when he went with Bhagavatam set only to US. He didn't go with anything else. He went with Srimad Bhagavatam only. So we can understand that how Bhagavatam is so important that Srila Prabhupada did not take anything else other than the Bhagavatam with him for preaching. And then Srila Sanatan Goswami also glorifies Srimad Bhagavatam as this Sarva Shastradi Piyusha Sarva Vedika Satpala Sarva Siddhanta Ratnadya Sarva Lokaika Drikprada Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabho Kali Dvanda Aditya Sri Krishna Parivartita. So Sanatan Goswami is telling, oh, out of all those scriptures, that is Piyusha. This Srimad Bhagavatam is Piyusha. It is nectar. It is that ripened fruit of the Vedic literatures. It is that one Ratna. Ratna means jewel. Like you have a pearl necklace, but the pendant is more important. The Srimad Bhagavatam is like that pendant. And he's saying, Sarva Lokika Drikprada. It is going to give one goal, one spiritual vision to all the people of this material world. And then Sri Sanatan Goswami is saying that this Bhagavat is prana. Without this Bhagavatam, the pure devotees cannot live without the Bhagavatam. And this Bhagavatam is actually the master of all the devotees. So he's saying that Kali Dvanta Aditya. So this Bhagavatam has risen like the sun to dissipate the darkness of ignorance in this Kali Yuga. And Sri Krishna Parivartita. Actually, Krishna himself has come in the Grantha avatar to actually liberate us and to give us the highest form of love in the form of Srimad-Bhagavatam. And this is the love of Krishna for the living entities in the form of Srimad-Bhagavatam. And then for the Bhagavatam, there is a glorification of the Bhagavatam, that Paramananda Pathaya Prema Varsha Akshare Sarvada Sarva Sevave Sri Krishna Namostute. So Paramananda Pathaya, anybody who is reading this, and he will attain Prema Varsha Akshare, every syllable he is going to get that rains of pure love only. And anybody who is Sarvada Sarva Sevaya, so anybody who is, this Bhagavatam will be served by everybody at all times, because it is raining only pure love. And then the prayer is that, oh Srimad Bhagavatam, you are my bandhu, you my friend, you my sangin, you my companion, you my guru, you my teacher, you are my dhan, you are my greatest wealth, and you Nisnaraka, you are my deliverer. And you will bring you will bring me, good fortune. Why? Because yasya vaishunamayanam Krishna param purushe bhaktir utpadate pumsa shoka moha bhayapaha. So when there will be no shok, no moha, and no bhay, then there will be good fortune. And you are my, ananda, the happiness that I will, the true happiness that I'll be deriving Srimad Bhagavatam only from you. So my obeisance is to you. So like this, so Srimad Bhagavatam essentially has only one, topic to discuss, and that is Krishna. The other, we can see from this example that, when you seeing that invisible root, but we know that the roots, because of the roots, only the leaves, flowers, and branches are, getting that portion, they're getting that nourishment from the root itself. And that is why if you see in the very first, on the very onset of the Srimad Bhagavatam only, that it is completely saying that it is considered, it's the substance, and you can progress gradually by developing knowledge in all these 9 cantos. And that is why Bhagavatam is superior to all the other Shastras, because it is aiming only, it is telling only about Krishna and nothing else. So somebody might question that why not directly, Krishna Katha. But there are 2 lakshan. There is primary lakshan and there is secondary lakshan symptoms. But the secondary lakshanas are taking us towards the primary lakshan, and that is why we go from the first canto to the 9th canto and that 10th canto, and we don't jump to the 10th canto. And then there might be very apparent misconceptions, contradictions that can be removed, because in our heart also we have so much samshaya, whether Krishna is all the cause of all causes or not, whether, he exists or not, whether whether he has akar, he does not have akar, is he a person, not person, is he potent, not potent, is he, having so many energies, who is his consort. So there are many, many misconceptions in our heart, and we can remove all these misconceptions by hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees. And somebody might just ask the importance of entering into the depth of Srimad Bhagavatam. So why in depth we should, because it is Srila Prabhupada's mood that my students should scrutinizingly read the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Prabhupada's also mood was that when somebody is reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, his faith and devotion is developed, and gradually he will become attached to chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This is the main Uddesh, or the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam, to bring to this point of relishing the chanting through the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he will become very much attached, but he has to hear from the right sources, and from the pure devotees, and then he'll be able to get attached to the Srimad-Bhagavatam. So, throughout the Bhagavatam, we have many hearers and many speakers. Like we have Shukdev Goswami who spoke to Parikshit Maharaj, and then Sutta Goswami speaking to Shaunaka Rishis, Maitra Muni speaking to Vidura, and Vyasdev, Narad Muni speaking to Vyasdev, Dhruv, Prachina Bharishad, and many other devotees also. But primarily, I'll be actually focusing more on Dhruva Maharaj, with how Dhruva Maharaj heard from Srila Narad Muni and how he perfected his life. I'll be speaking primarily on this from the fourth canto. So, when we say Shravanam, so why hearing is so important? Like if somebody asks me that right from my childhood, I've been hearing so many things, so many words, but why those words did not make any impact in my life? So when I'm hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam from the lips of a pure devotee, that hearing is the sign of humility. And when we hear from the pure devotees, our senses, they are compared to, ferocious venoms. So when we hear from a pure devotee, we bring our senses under control, because when the speaker speaks with potency, it empowers the heart of all the hearers. Like just if when you have a husband and wife, and if the husband is potent and the wife is chaste, then immediately there is pregnancy. So similarly, if the hearer is very pure and eager to hear, and the speaker is also very pure, a devotee of the Lord, then immediately the seed of bhakti is sown in the hearts of the hearer. And of course, Srila Prabhupada also preached to so many people, and so many living entities became devotees. So this is the potency of the speaker. And that is why Shravanam is so important, because it is waking up us from the sleeping state of ignorance. And when we are continuously hearing, then from a normal level, from the Shraddha level, we can reach to the Prema level, and we can purify our hearts. Because in our heart, there are so many other doubts, which we previously also discussed, so many misconceptions also we have. So that is why hearing is so important, and hearing is one of the potent forms of bhakti that is there. And when we uh, when we desire to become a pure devotee, then Shravanam has to be done with great enthusiasm. It's exactly like if anything is of our interest, we immediately put our ears over there. So the topics connecting to Krishna, we should have our ears lent to very immediately. So somebody might ask that how to participate. So there is a two things. The one is hearing, that is a proper act, and then there is a Shravanam also. So when I'm lending my ears to give some oral reception, and then these transcendental, then immediately my heart becomes pure. And sometimes when we are hearing, it is creating some very deep samskaras into our consciousness. And these samskaras only will help me at the time of my death to remember Krishna. To remember, like if you see in the example of Gajendra, or even in Ajamil's story, how they were able to remember the Supreme Lord right at the fag end of their life. So this particular shraddha that is there, or when I'm actually submissively hearing, or when I'm having humility while hearing, these all will help me at the time of death. And of course, when we are hearing and we are in a good receptive mode, then we'll develop faith, taste, we'll get the mercy of the acharyas, we'll get the mercy of the Supreme Lord Himself, we'll develop more interest, we'll get more inspiration also. So, Srila Prabhupada says that our process is that we don't see Krishna with our eyes, because eyes are imperfect. But our process is that we see Krishna through our ears, through the Shastra Chakshu. So, and uh, when sorry, this is just doubled up. Okay. So then when this hearing process is perfect and complete, then automatically all other processes also become very perfect. If Shravanam will be perfect, then Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Vandanam, DT worship also will be very perfect. And whatever we are aiming to please the Supreme Lord, to please our Acharyas, that also will be perfect as such. So somebody might ask, okay, I'm hearing for a very long time, but I'm not getting any taste. I'm not getting any, rasa. But we should understand that reading and hearing is definitely giving us spiritual improvement. We're getting a better understanding of Krishna. We're getting the essence of all the Vedic scriptures in the form of Srimad-Bhagavatam. And it is going to give us the most valuable treasure, which nobody gets. Everybody is looking for false rasa. They want rasa in liquor, they want rasa in some blood, they want rasa in something nonsense things. But over here it is going to bestow that most valuable treasure, which we will be able to relish not only in this lifetime, but we'll be able to relish it in for eternity as such. And if you see this taste is does not satiate. You don't get satiated. This When you keep on hearing and hearing, it will increase your eagerness to hear more and more. It will help you to relieve that fatigue. The relieve that fatigue means what? From time immemorial, I have been wandering in 84 lakhs of species of lives. But now, since I have come at the lotus feet of Srimad Bhagavatam, the lotus feet of my spiritual master, the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and the devotees, now all that cycle of birth and death, I will be actually cutting off that cycle of birth and death. So, uh, of course, we will not even have many bodily demands while we are hearing. I remember that one time when we were hearing, it was 2001 Jagannath Puri Yatra. And His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj started the Bhagavatam in the morning at 9 o'clock. And that katha went, and of course, it was like July month, scorching heat. And at least I was having many boils on my hand by the time it was 1:30 that time. But still, uh, and I was sitting right under the nose of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And I still remember, I was thinking, oh, these are all this, but what katha he is speaking with such purity that he is speaking, that I feel that no, the whole day also will go on, and it will not, we will, and not only me, but devotees also. I was actually very, you can say, neophyte devotee, but other devotees also, Maharaj is telling, should we continue? And everybody is saying, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So these pastimes, we were thinking directly, he was showing us a 70 mm, picture, and we were seeing through his words the whole of Chaitanya Leela through the lotus mouth of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And the same effect, even Dhruv Maharaj also. When Dhruv Maharaj heard the words of Narada Muni, immediately he developed faith in the Supreme Lord. And Srila Prabhupada also writes in that particular purport that you can connect directly with the Supreme Lord when you're hearing the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So, yes. So this is that pastime also. In Vrindavan also, Maharaj had taken almost 7 hours of katha. And devotees were not tired of hearing Vayam tuna vitrupyam uttama shloka vikrame yat srinvatam rasa jnanam swadu swadu pade pade. And they were saying that aniyor, we want more, we want more. We are not tired of hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam because these topics are very satisfying to the heart. These topics are giving so much relief to the burning heart which is in separation of Krishna, and these topics should never end. So, of course, with that, we have some of the qualifications, or you can say qualities of a speaker, where the speaker of the Bhagavatam has to have some qualities. and he's accepting the previous acharyas. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, if you see the very first chapter in itself only, it says that Tvaya khalo puranani sithayasni chanagha akhyatani chapi adhitani dharma shastrani yani utah. He's saying that uh, uh, because you are anagha, you are freed from all these vices. You are akhyatani also. You have understood it and you are able to explain it also. And you are adhitani also. You are well read also in this shastra. You assimilated also very nicely these shastras also. And you are dharma shastrani. You are, these scriptures which are giving right directions, you have been able to understand them very nicely. So that's how the qualifications of Srila Sud Goswami were given. And the very next sloka also is saying that Yani Veda Vidam Shreshto Bhagavan Badarayana Anya cha Munaya Sutta Pravara Vido Vidaha. He's saying that because you are the senior most, because in that particular assembly, uh, he was senior most, and he was scholarly also, and he knew many of the other shastras also, and he is realizing also those shastras. It's not like that only he's speaking, uh, he's just speaking. He has realized those shastras. And they're saying that Sut Goswami, you are Vedhatvam Swamya Tat Sarvam Tattvas Tat Anugrahat Bhurya Snigdhasya Shishyasa Guruva Guhyam Api Utaha. So, hey Sud Goswami, you are very Soumya, you're very pure and you're very gentle, you're very simple-hearted person. You are you have you have got anugraha of your own spiritual masters also, and you are very snigdha, very submissive also to them, and you are a very nice shishya also. And because you are a nice disciple, all your gurus have endowed you with their grace upon you, and they are also actually, so if you see the character of a Goswami or a bona fide representative of the Bhagavatam, he's, does not have these four vices of Kali Yuga, like illicit sex with women or animal slaughter or intoxication, or he does not gamble as such. And he's very spotless in his character. And he's very snigdha, very obedient to his spiritual masters, very submissive also to his spiritual masters. And that is why he's, and because of all these, he's very Soumya also. He's very pure and gentle also. So if you see with our scriptural understanding also, we should be able to, for example, like when I'm seeing the application part of the Srimad Bhagavatam, when I'm hearing as such, so I should be able to hear and even explain it in a very simple manner, which is more important than even reading. And when I'm doing good hearing and good chanting, uh, uh, and when I'm doing good hearing and good chanting, that real meaning of that scripture will awaken in my heart. So if you see, even in Dhruv Maharaj's life, Dhruv Maharaj also heard from Srila Narada Muni. And he heard from his mother, who is a Pathapratyaksh Guru, but more he heard from Srila Narada Muni, who's a pure devotee. And we know Srila Narada Muni is very expert in, making devotees. And immediately the seed of bhakti was there, in, sown in his heart. And he followed it also very sincerely. He was convinced that whatever Narad Muni has said is absolutely right, and I will follow it. And that is why, because Narad Muni comes in disciplic succession, that is why he heard that particular message and he started following. So, how is he receiving that particular message? If you see with Dhruv Maharaj, he had respect for Narada Muni, and he showed a lot of respect for Narada. He was asking some questions also to Narada Muni. That means he was very submissive also to Narada Muni, which means he had respect also. And Dhruv Maharaj was always in the mood of being a disciple, always trying to follow. So they say that a good leader is a good follower also. Of course, Dhruv Maharaj ruled the earth planet for almost 36,000 years. So with that, if you see even in the Bhagavatam 10th canto, where it says, Nivritta tasya rupagiyamana bhavadaushani chotramano dabhimanat cha uttama shloka gunanuvadad puman vrajejayat vina pangasat. So he's saying that over there that this whoever is reciting Bhagavatam, he does not have any what do you say a malice for or he does not have any what do you say uh, he does not have any motive for reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he's Nivritta Krishna. No material purpose he has for the for reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he is having too much of interest for the what do you say Krishna Katha. So in one of the Mundaka Upanishad, where in the Bhagavad Mahatmya of sorry, not in Mundaka Upanishad, in the Skanda Purana, where it is saying that the where it is saying that there are Bhagavan Mati Anapeksha Surido Dinakshu Sanukampayam Yad Bahuda Bodhan Chatura Vakta Samanito Manubi. So this in this it says that any person, so these are actually some categories of who are listeners and categories of speakers. But if you see, the most important quality of this particular speaker is that he is Bhagavan Mati, because Bhagavan Mati means his mind is completely engaged in hearing the pastimes of Krishna. So Dhruv Maharaj also had this desire that he wants to hear from the pure devotees, because he could not get association in that jungle. And then he's Anapeksha. Anapeksha means he is always he wants to he wants to always expand, or he wants to always speak for the pastimes of Krishna. He wants to he does not desire anything in return for speaking the pastimes of Krishna. And then he's Surid, he's friendly to all. So if you see, even in Dhruv Maharaj life, he was also very friendly to all. And when I'm seeing comparisons between Dhruv Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, even Srila Prabhupada left to USA without anything. And Dhruv Maharaj also just went to the jungle and he did some tapasya. And Prabhupada also was guided by his own spiritual master, go to the West and preach, go to the West and, preach in English. But both of them came out to be successful. Why? Because both of them had a very powerful guru. They both had a spiritual master and they obeyed the orders of that spiritual master. And they think, Dineshu Anukampayaha. So he is very extremely compassionate to the poor. So even Dhruv Maharaj was also very compassionate to that Yaksha, because when Swayambhu Manu came, he immediately stopped and then he pleased Kuvera, and Kuvera then gave benediction. So even Srila Prabhupada also started the Food for Life movement for the fallen conditioned souls, the poor. So Vaishnava is naturally very compassionate. And then Bahuda Bodhan Chatur. So he's expert in all the other scriptures also. And Srila Prabhupada is also very much expert. Dhruv Maharaj also very much expert in all the other scriptures, because he wanted to again and again hear, and he was taking association of the devotees. So with that, such a wonderful this, that if we are hearing nicely, we should have these qualities as such. And this hearing process is like transmitting some knowledge. We get Sambandha Abhide Prayojan as such. And then we have the qualifications of a hearer also. Hearer should be, very attentive, submissive, and he should be, actually there are four categories also of hearers. He should be like a Chataka bird. Chataka bird means he is like, he wants water, but he does not want water which has fallen on the ground. He wants pure. So whatever he wants uncontaminated knowledge. He does not want contaminated. And then there is this Hansa bird. This Hansa bird is actually has this quality that if you mix water and milk, he will only.
Mataji, your time is up.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji. Yeah, fine, fine.
Mataji, so I stop you now.
Yes.
However, I will, because I am liking your presentation, and especially I am eager to hear about these four examples which you have quoted in your, in this last slide, Chataka, Hansa, parrot, and fish. So just, as a answer to my question, please elaborate upon these four examples. How from these four examples we can learn to develop our hearing.
So, Prabhuji, actually, if you see these listeners that are there, these four categories of listeners that are there, they are hankering for Krishna Katha, like this Chataka bird, you know. So we should be like Chataka bird, hankering for Krishna Katha. And then, like this Hamsa bird, we should take wisdom, uh, means we should take only the essence from that particular, lecture or wisdom. And this Shuka parrot, he's very attentive. So just as this Shuka parrot was very attentive, we also have to be very attentive. We have to memorize shlokas. We have to repeat whatever our gurus have said to us. And then this fish that is there. So this fish loves to be in actually, water. It cannot survive without water. Okay. And it cannot survive without water. So we should also have that love for Krishna Katha, that without Krishna Katha, I cannot survive only. Without one day also without hearing, I am like a fish out of water. So this is how we can actually draw some principles in our life from these four categories of hearers, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Mataji, this parrot example which you gave, like parrot is attentive. So could you please elaborate a little bit how, I never heard about it, that parrot attentiveness. So could you please elaborate about it?
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, they say that Shukdev Goswami had actually very much attentively heard, this Bhagavad Katha. And if you see, there is a story in the, this that how he had heard the Krishna Katha very nicely. And then parrot is repeating what he has heard. So a parrot has this quality of learning words and repeating them. So, and he has this quality of repeating it in a very sweet voice. So that's how this devotee will listen Krishna Katha very attentively. And whenever somebody will tell him, that he will repeat it very nicely without any addition or very any subtraction. So that is why, because it does not have any addition or subtraction, then that particular Vani is filled with sweetness and joy, that this particular devotee is thinking of Krishna. Like we have our acharyas, they are all Rasika Bhaktas. So how much joy they are deriving while speaking Krishna Katha, and we are also deriving hearing them, so others will also have that same experience.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Mataji, these four examples, Chataka, Hansa, parrot, and fish, they are good examples. So how you got these four examples?
Prabhuji, from your only lecture.
My lectures.
Prabhuji, 2003 you have given that lecture, and I had put it in on my in my diary, Prabhuji. And you have only given this, Prabhuji. Maybe sometimes what we give sometimes but and it's 2003, Prabhuji. We can say like almost 21 years back you had given this class, and I still had those notes. Later on I typed them. All my lectures are typed, Prabhuji, in computer. So I took it from there only, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Mataji. I am happy to hear you.
Yes.
And especially some of the points which I liked very much from your class is that misconceptions can be removed by hearing. And similarly, you quoted about qualifications of a audience when he is hearing and qualification of a speaker when he is speaking. So these are the good points. And also you made some good points like hearing makes our senses under the control. Just one, as a feedback, if I had to give, I would say that PPT presentation was good, but content was too much.
Yes,
It
yes.
was, it was like immediately the whole slide would come with so much of content, and you were speaking, and our mind was getting diverted between the slide and your talk, something like that.
Yes.
So only that part was there. Otherwise, your presentation was very good. I liked also that how by hearing what kind of effects we'll get, hearing increases our more eagerness to hear, hearing cuts the fatigue, and especially the last part which you gave, like Chatak Pakshi, Hans Pakshi, Parrot, and Fish. This I will never forget. Of course, you are saying that I spoke fine. Thank you so much for reminding me again. But now I will not forget. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, I have some notes I can share with you. It's in a PDF form as a doc.
Oh, I am very happy to receive the PDF format or document format from anyone. Please share with me. Thank you.
Yes, yes,
Hare
definitely.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Now, yeah. Vimla Gopi Mataji, please come.